Welcome to Metal Planet, a great place to discover new heavy metal and hard rock albums. I am Max Gray. In today's video there will be releases from all over the heavy music spectrum, so I feel that there will be something for everybody. Why don't we start with a new album by Annisokay, a formation named after the line "Are You Okay Annie" from the Michael Jackson song Smooth Criminal. Abyss, the final chapter, will conclude the band's Abyss era that started with the Abyss Part 1 and 2 extended plays. The final chapter will include those two EPs into one complete package, plus 3 additional tracks, Silent Encore, Splinters, and My Effigy. The album will be a blend of metalcore and post-hardcore, where there is a big range between heavier and poppier moments. Noticeable characteristics of the band's music are futuristic electronic sounds, catchy choruses, and beefy breakdowns. A cinematic edge can also be found in tracks like Splinters and Inner Sanctum, with all their bells and whistles. For the stoner rock and sludge metal side of things, we will have this week new titles by Dune, Aurora, and Stone Nomads. Both of those bands are relatively new power trios. They were both founded in the early 2020s. They are located on the different sides of the Atlantic. Dune Aurora is from Italy, while Stone Nomads is from Texas. Ice Age Desert will be the former band's very first studio album. This record by the all-female formation won't feature a cold sound like the title implies, but rather a warm organic sound, with intoxicating grooves and dense massive riffs. Empires of Stones will be the third full-length opus by Stone Nomads. This one will share those characteristics with the Dune Aurora album, but its sound will be sludgier. Gasket is the upcoming record by the hardcore 4-piece band of the same name. It will be the follow-up to the formation's extended plays Dull the Needle from 2023 and Babylon from 2024. Gasket is a band from Baltimore with a DIY ethic. It is currently on the Blue Grape music roster. On the label's website, it is written that the music of Gasket is a perfectly executed and lethal mix of old-school hardcore, grimy metal, and crusty punk. The music of Gasket is raw, nasty, and abrasive. It definitely should please long-time hardcore fans. The track Purest Existence is a song about rejecting the world around you and finding a place to exist. In the music video, the band plays in a restaurant in the middle of the people eating. There's certainly some sort of social commentary there. The Pretty Wild is a colorful music project fronted by the sisters Jill and Jules Wild. They will unleash on November 21st zero.point.genesis through Sumerian Records. The project's new material reminds me of the last Sumo Cycle record that we discussed last month. The Wild sisters have eccentric on-stage personas like Sky Sweetman from this last band. The Pretty Wild's music is also a collision between modern metal, hard rock, and pop music, and their songs also feature a variety of vocal styles like polished to clean vocals, screams, and rapping. An element that stands out in the music of the Pretty Wild besides the vocals are the intense breakdowns. If you want to try to listen to this band but don't know where to start, the track Paradox will give you a good idea of what the Pretty Wild is about. The breakdown at the 2 minutes and 15 seconds mark in this one is sick. While the previous record by the Swedish power metal band Bloodbound had a Viking theme, the group's upcoming conceptual album Field of Swords will mainly be about the Crusades in the Holy Land. The track As Empires Fall tells the story of how the Crusades started when the Byzantine Empire asked the West for help, and the song Defenders of Jerusalem is about the 1187 siege of that city where the Knight Balian of Ibelin fought against Saladin's army. Musically, I can hear some Camelot, Halloween, and Stratovarius vibes in the new Bloodbound material. It's like mixing together elements of some of the top power metal bands out there into one cohesive sound. Field of Swords will be the first Bloodbound LP to be released by Napalm Records, and the band went for a more polished and even more bombastic sound with this album compared to its past releases. If you like your metal heavier, I've got one deathcore and 2 death metal albums for you in this round. The deathcore band AngelMaker will drop this week. This used to be Heaven. In this band there's 2 singers and there is a cool interplay between their 2 respective vocal styles. One is close to death growls, while the other consists of high-pitched screams. Depravity will release on the same day Bestial Possession. Although it will be released by a relatively small label, Transcending Obscurity Records, the material sounds really powerful and professional. It's the type of record that could have easily been released by a much bigger label like Metal Blade or Nuclear Blast. The Halo Effect, a super group featuring the singer Michael Stan of Dark Tranquillity and former members of In Flames, will release We Are Shadows, a fun extended play of covers. Instead of copying the original songs, the band members made sure their versions matched the style of the Halo Effect. I've got two recommendations for you today, the two albums that I recommend the most among this week's releases. The second album I recommend the most is Leo Rising, the 12th studio album by the Canadian formation Danko Jones, led by the musician of the same name. Danko Jones is known for playing an energetic blend of hard rock, featuring memorable riffs and catchy hooks. It appears that while creating Leo Rising, the band members were influenced by the music of Kiss, but I can also hear some AC/DC influences as well. If we talk about specific standout tracks, the record's second song, Diamond in the Rough, features a solo by the former Megadeth guitarist Marty Friedman, while Everyday Saturday Night is a rock anthem in the same vein as the hit Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss. I remember seeing Danko Jones open for Guns N' Roses when I was younger. I thought that the band's blend of energetic hard rock works well in a live setting, but it also works well in studio recordings. Leo Rising will be a fun hard rock record with an upbeat vibe. The album that I recommend the most this week represents a massive change of tone compared to the Danko Jones record. If you are new here, we like some variety on this channel. Reborn Through Torture by the death metal formation Calcraft from San Antonio, Texas is not going to be for the faint of hearts. This new band is named after William Calcraft, a controversial English executioner who in the 1800s carried out close to 500 executions. He apparently often used a hanging technique that slowly strangled the condemned to death rather than breaking their necks quickly. This is a taste of the topics explored in Calcraft's music. Themes of torture and death will permeate Reborn Through Torture, as it was specifically inspired by slasher and giallo films. Lyrics will be about carnage and gore, and the music will feature a savage guitar work and a gloomy atmosphere that match the sordid stories depicted in the songs. If a death metal band was commissioned to do a soundtrack for a Friday the 13th movie, Reborn Through Torture is exactly what it would sound like. I've got 4 more albums for you this week. Next Friday, many records by old school hard rock or classic heavy metal bands that started to play music in the 70s and 80s will be released. The Wild Card will be the 5th Street studio album since the band reunited in 2006. With this one, expect melodic, radio-friendly hard rock songs with layered vocal harmonies, keyboard parts, and noteworthy solos. The greatest gift of all will be a Christmas album by the Christian metal band Stryper. It will contain 5 traditional Christmas songs like Winter Wonderland and Silent Night, done in the style of the band, as well as 5 new compositions. The greatest gift of all is intended to be released exclusively in physical media formats. The members of the legendary band Aerosmith recently came out of retirement to create the extended play One More Time, a collaborative effort with the English singer, songwriter and actor Yungblud. This 5-track EP will come out this week. The last record for today is a live album by Def Leppard, The Diamond Star Heroes, live from Sheffield. It was recorded in the band's hometown and includes the band's biggest classics like Pour Some Sugar on Me, Photograph and Rock of Ages. Let me know in the comments which album or albums you plan to listen to this week. If you found this video useful, gently tap that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the new heavy metal and hard rock titles that are released each week. Like past years, it appears that there will be less releases per week as we approach the end of the year. Less bands release albums in the last weeks of the year, so don't be surprised if there are less releases covered per video than usual in the coming weeks. But there will still be many great gems to be found. I have started to work on my top albums list of 2025 for a future video that should probably be released towards the end of the year, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!